A shout out to Ge.Holla and
Hey, Ge.Holla, G.Holla.
Ge.Holla, shout me to God here, man.
All y'all said entertainer, shout out my guy Ge.Holla.
Rocking right now with Ge.Holla, Celebrity Life.
Shout out to Ge.Holla reaching 1 million listeners on his podcast.
Peace, man, to the great chat, Bozeman. I appreciate that. Man, that's very powerful. Now, your very first thing, were you referencing sideliners? Was that the one?
Oh, no, you wouldn't pull that out of somewhere. Let me tell you about sideliners. Okay. So, sideliners, I never actually saw the episode, which is so funny. I booked it, I shot it. I don't know that it ever aired. I've never seen it. So, Southland is the first TV show I was in that I've seen, but you're right. Sideliners is the first television episode that I ever shot. Yeah. Thank you for that.
What about number 8?
Oh, Vim Vendors. Wow. Critically acclaimed director. I was so happy to be on that set. I got a chance to speak my native language, Fanti. So I was so grateful for that. I met a lot of people. Yeah, it was one of the first real sets that I was on that I didn't create. So I was just happy to be there, learn it all. Yes, that's true. Oh, this is like a stroll down memory lane. I like this.
Hey, come on, you know what I'm saying? Had to dig in a little bit, dig in the pot a little bit. What about White Knights and Black Paradise?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's a good one. So we shot these scenes as they related to the stage production. There's an accompanying stage production. And the Jonestown Massacre. It was about the Jonestown Massacre. And so I did a lot of research on that. I learned so much about Jim Jones that I didn't know before. That story is wild. And I mean, so many people were affected by it that we know of it. And when people start talking about it, I think it's a little bit familiar to people, but I had no idea how in depth it was. So that project really enlightened me to a lot of things. I'm grateful for that one. Yeah.
What is something that you learned that you didn't know that wasn't in the public forum? Was it something that really like shocked you? Because then he took the people from here and then he moved to Africa, so to speak,
Yes.
and the great atrocity happened. What is something within that you didn't know that really shocked you?
I didn't know how many Black people and how many people of color were a part of this group. I had no idea. I think because Jim Jones, I can see a picture of him even as I'm talking about him. I don't know. I guess I just assumed his following was the same. So to learn how many people were there that were people of color and Black people, I was like, oh, wow. Oh, we were in there too? Okay, heavens. So yes, that was very surprising to me.
Wow, I didn't know that you was enlightening me. Man, that's interesting. Oh, okay. All right. We see that you are credited as the attractive Black woman in Boomerang, episode 1. Oh, that's right. Did you see the original Boomerang film? Were you a fan with it?
Of course I did. Of course. I mean, they say the TV show is coming, and I'm like, what? And then I get an audition for it, and what? And then get to set and get a chance to meet with and see the Lena Waithe in action and our director Dime Davis, who is incredible, just to watch them in action. And I'm always taking notes. So when I'm on set, I'm always paying attention. I'm always taking notes. I'm always collecting everything. So to be able to be with those two, wow. Yes, I learned a lot from that one as well. That was a big one.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about The Womb. You played Whitney.
Oh, that one is mine. The Womb is mine. I wrote, directed, produced, and starred in The Womb. Wow. That's definitely a passion project. It's about women and their choices surrounding reproduction and childbirth. For women of a certain age, if you don't have children, people start asking questions and they ask you a lot and they feel very entitled to know what's happening with your body. And I just wanted to talk about it. There's so many conversations that we have that I'm like, we need to see this play out on the screen. And so usually when that happens, especially if it's something that's happening to me personally or somebody that I love, once I'm having a conversation numerous times and I don't see it reflected or I don't see it the way that I feel like it should be discussed, I'm going to write it. So that's where that came from. I birthed the womb and we went to the film festival circuit and we did so well. Shout out to all of my co-stars, my co-director, Kit Vincic. It was a passion project. And I hope within this next year, 2024, that we'll find an outlet for everybody else to be able to see it as well.
Ooh, David Makes Man.
Oh, my, wow. That was that was the first project that I got flown out for.
Got flew out.
I got flew out to Miami. That project holds a very special place in my heart. I think it probably was the one I had the most lines in as well, which is really special because I'm grateful for every role. I mean, you give me some words and I'll figure out what to do with them. But this one, because I had text, I got a chance to really like dig into character and dig into speech and dig into emotion. And I was able to really connect with my scene partner, Kwame. Shout out to Kwame. And that really, it really showed me how fast and also deep and important television filming is. Because working on that project and being there, it was such an eye-opening experience for me, but I'm grateful for that one as well.
RESPECT. Miss Gold. What that mean, dear? You with me?
My. Oh, Forrest Whitaker was my scene partner for this film. Wow. He was so gracious. He's just a good human. And I remember so well after we did our scene together, when they yelled cut, he turned around and he said, do you have any notes? Is there anything and I was like, excuse me, do I have any notes for you, sir? What kind of question is this? I think he chuckled a little bit because I was confused. No, can you give me notes? That's how this is supposed to work. But it showed me like, wow, even when you're Forrest Whitaker, he is always growing and he's always looking to improve. And I mean, he made a great point. I am the one in the scene with him. So if there is something that I need from him, then he wants to give it. And that I'll always take with me. That was incredible. Yeah.
That is dope. I didn't realize he had a twin brother all this time.
Oh, I didn't either. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Meet Ken Whitaker and Forrest Whitaker. Good. I appreciate you for kicking in with me. I want to make sure I got my facts correct.
I want to know this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something.
And I found that a lot of people who are in the industry, they have twins. They have like R. Kelly. I didn't know he had a twin brother. I'm like, oh wow, this is
really?
Yes. Tell us about Legacies. We see that you were a warrior.
Yeah, that one was good. Legacies was my first project where I was in like stage makeup. They gave me wounds. And so I sat in makeup to have wounds put on. And that was an experience. A lot of the time you hear these actors talking and they say, oh, they were in makeup for 5 hours or 4 hours. And I'm like, what are they? How does it take that long? But for that wound, the artists, and I use the term artist intentionally, that comes in and creates that thing and puts it on and makes it look real. Wow. I'm watching them in the mirror working, thinking, everybody's got a gifting that is important and is useful somewhere because this is incredible. So yeah, they made those wounds on my body and I was happy to be there. I was happy to have that experience. That was a good one. I enjoyed it.
I know that had to be a surreal experience for you to look in the mirror or to pass by the mirror or something. And you're just looking like, wow, this looks so realistic. And it creates that ambiance of what you're getting in character for, because your mind is so deep and intrinsic You're such a thought-provoking, a profound thinker. I know within yourself it starts to cultivate this other energy. And I would just like to just watch you perform. Before you perform, I bet that is amazing within itself.
Thank you for saying that. Sometimes I'm like, is this strange or is this normal? I don't know. But you're right. I mean, it is a responsibility, I think, to be able to step into the shoes of a different human being and then to be able to articulate that to the rest of the world. And it is a gift, and I treat it as such. I think it's very important, and I very much respect it. So anytime I'm going to shoot anything, yeah, my process to get into character is intense, and I like to be alone just in case it's weird. I'm not sure if it is because I haven't talked to anybody else about it, but I'll just, I'll just be alone for it, just to make sure.
That's your rabbit's foot. We understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. I promise I'm gonna hold you too much longer. I know we've been in this wonderful conversation. I could talk to you all day. You're really dope. Talk to me about Cobra Kai for the people that grew up in the 80s that may have watched like the original Karate Kid, not with Jaden Smith, because I know some of y'all came along later, not that one, but the original Cobra Kai that was part of Karate Kid. Tell us about Cobra Kai.
Wow. Yeah, I got that audition and I was like, Cobra Kai. Wow, they were already 5 seasons in by that time. They were getting ready to shoot the 5th season, which I was in. And I was so happy. I was so happy to go to that set. I was so happy to be a part of the legacy. They were so efficient. That honestly, I think that what that set taught me was a different level of professionalism. They were on point. Everybody was exactly where they were supposed to be 2 minutes before they were supposed to be there. And everything ran so smoothly. Yeah, that's what I learned from being on that set. I was like, this is how it goes. Yes, yes. It was like everything was just seamless. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved being there. That was a good one.
Absolutely. And our final grand coup d'etat of the people that you work with, and then we're going to talk about you working on your own personal projects, but the grand coup d'etat of being from The Color Purple. You showed it ugly. You know what I'm saying? Tell us about your original experience with Color Purple that came out back in the day with your girl Whoopi. You know what I'm saying? And then take us to you being in Color Purple, because you're wearing Color Purple and you're looking very royal and majestic now.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I mean, there's so many people that love and admire The Color Purple, right? The 85 version. And I'm one of them. I know all the words. I know all the songs. I know everything about the movie. And I've just grown up with it. It's just been a part of my life. And so, same thing as Cobra Kai, to get the audition and it says The Color Purple. And I just kind of looked at it for a while because I was like, are they making another project called The Color Purple? Because I wish they wouldn't, like what is going on here? And then, and then I found out that it is The Color Purple. And I was like, okay. So I had a couple of auditions and I got that call. I got that call that I booked it and I fell out. I was at a restaurant and I excused myself from the table to talk to my agent and wow, I fell out, and the hotel staff, the restaurant staff had to come out and help me, and I had to explain to them, no, it's okay, this is good, this is a good thing. But just, I've been waiting for a long time, probably my whole life, to meet Oprah. I knew I would work with her one day. I just knew it in my spirit. So it felt very full circle for me. For me, it was like, it was just the encouragement that I needed to say, you're not making this up. You know what's coming and you need to stay on your path and you need to stay focused because what you know will be, will be. Yeah.
You told Harpo to beat me. This lady came out there coaching and guiding you. How was that? Like, well, you're looking like, hold up, lady. I've been watching you all this time, and now you telling me I'm standing shoulder to shoulder. What is that like for you?
How can you put that into words? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, it's just, When you're standing in the moment of a life goal that's being realized, it feels very surreal. So I I remember so well listening to her talking, and it was like I was having an out of body experience because I'm just watching us have a conversation like, "Oh my gosh, I'm talking to Oprah." I'm talking to Oprah, and I'm talking to Oprah on the set of The Color Purple, and I'm in the movie. This is just, it was a lot. I cried a lot. I went back to my trailer. I fell out and I cried and then pulled it together. But again, it's that level of encouragement because I'm like, if Oprah believes in me and I see what she's done with her life and her career and a lot of our lives, then I can do it too. Yeah, I can
There's
do it.
no separation in greatness. When, my opinion, when you are attracted to those things are gravitating and they're pulling you. Because in life we think that we're walking, but really our destiny is pulling us. Like a bird. A bird does not just fly, it's being pulled. A fish does not just swim, it's being pulled. It's like there's a gravitational force that we call God or the spirit, the energy. It's constantly pulling us towards the direction in which we're supposed to be and where we're supposed to be. Even if we think we're losing, we're really winning. Sometimes we think when we're being buried, we're being planted. Sometimes that rejection is a blessing, but we can't see it at that time because as humans, we want what we want. But then when we look back at it in retrospect in our rear view, we go, wow, that was right on time. I'm glad that happened to me. I'm glad I had failures because those failures prepared me for the success of the level where I'm at now. That's why you're so dope and amazing. And you are the color purple because you are royalty. I'm just saying that's my opinion.
Thank you so much. And what is today? Is this Sunday? Because you were just preaching to me. What is today? Wow. Thank you for that. I needed to hear that. I'm going to watch this back and just play that part over and over again. Goodness. Thank you. Yes, I'm being pulled. I like that. It's true.
My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. I'm sorry. I just give you your flowers while you're here. You are
Thank
dope
you.
and amazing. Because I want to talk about your own production company. Tell me about that because it's all about you.
Yes. My production company is called the Ohema Project. The word Ohema means queen in my language. Thank you very much. Yes. So the Queen's Projects essentially, I have so many stories in my spirit. And as you mentioned, I'm being pulled. It's like the story downloads and I need to get it out somehow. And as I watch a lot of entertainment, I'm watching film, I'm watching television all the time, I'm always studying. There are a lot of times where I'm not seeing the conversations I'm having, like in the womb, or there are other things that I want to discuss that I'm all not always seeing. Blending of cultures, being an African and an American, it's like some of those stories I want to talk more about and I want to see more about. And so as the stories are downloaded for me, I was collecting them. And at some point, it's like, okay, I don't know if I trust anybody else to tell this story. I need to tell it myself. So there's a whole other part of my brain that loves spreadsheets and checklists and putting things in order and getting organized. And I really enjoy that. So I just kind of combined both parts of my personality and I came out with the production company and I'm so proud of it. And I cannot wait to start to produce the projects for everybody to see. So we have a couple under our belt, but it's a lot more of where that came from.
And you know what? I see that spreadsheet reference that you referenced because you're talking about a person who sits on the Dean's Advisory Board. You know what I'm talking about? Of the University of Colorado Boulder with the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in Performing Arts. You are, not only are you creative, you also are stable at the same time. Your duality is like a perfect blend. You know what I'm saying? That's really dope. You're
Thank
able to be creative and you're able to sit down and structure yourself. Wow.
you.
You're
Thank
amazing.
you.
You're not from here. You're not even from this earth. I don't believe this. You are an alien in human skin. Yeah, like, this is
Thank
amazing.
you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's important to me. I mean, the whole time I was in school, it's like you gain so much knowledge, and then what are you going to do with it? And even though I am using it in my career field, also I think about all the students that came after me and the kids that are there now and the kids that are going to be there in 5 years. And everything that I've learned since then, it feels like my responsibility to now go back and create an environment that will be more beneficial to them. So, one of my favorite quotes is be who you needed when you were a child. So I'm like, okay, when I was in school, what was it that I needed? What was I looking for? And now that I'm here, how can I provide that for the next generation? That's very important to me. I feel like that's how we keep the cycles going and how we keep growing as a people. So yeah, they invited me to come join the Dean's Board. I was more than happy, and I'm grateful to be there. And I'm glad that Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, is bringing us a little bit of shine. Everybody knows the Buffs now. Yeah, yeah, everybody knows the Buffs. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I appreciate that as well.
And that's what's up. And I want to be a part of helping you grow and cultivate too as well. You always welcome on my show. You can send me any press releases. If you need anything, you let me know, and I'll reach out to people that I know in the community. Because I see you spend your time between Atlanta and Los Angeles and LA. I'm currently in Atlanta. So anything that you may need from me, I'll be glad to be a part of your movement and to help you in any way that I can.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That is a very kind and generous offer, and I will take you up on it.
Have your set sweeping like, okay, all right, I'm doing this album.
Exactly. I'm glad you know already. Good. Thank you.
And I operate cameras too. I know I operate cameras. So just let you know. Shameless plugs.
I'll take it off. Yeah.
Well, I definitely have held you long enough. I do want to play a game with you before I let you go. Is there anything that I missed in today's interview that you would like to talk about?
Ooh, I do have a show coming. Bad Monkey. It's going to premiere next year, 2024. And it's a Vince Vaughn star, which, wow, the opportunity to work with him was just beyond. I mean, I was so grateful for that. And it's my first recurring role on television. So I'm very excited about that as well. That's going to be a big one for me. Yeah.
Cool. And do you remember your earliest memory of Vince Vaughn? I know he's been around from quite a while. He made a lot of good comedy. I always loved the ones like Wedding Crashers with him and Owen Wilson. I always thought it was so funny how they just was like,
I know.
crazy, and I'm crazy too.
I know. I don't have an earliest memory of him, but I have a favorite. Four Christmases. This movie, it's a Christmas movie. It's him and Reese Witherspoon. I watch it every Christmas season. I love it. They're so funny. And when you can watch a comedy and laugh the same every time, you know that it's good. That guy's good. Yeah. So yes, I watch it every single year. I love that film. I actually just watched it about 2 or 3 days ago. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
You're right. Even like Boomerang, the original Boomerang '92 is still funny. It got some of the greatest people there. Martin Lawrence is in there. David Allen Greer is in there. Eddie Murphy is in there. Della Reese. Like, you got a lot of super cool people that's in there, and their comedy. You're right. Their geniusness. Pops, rest in peace to him. He's in there with the bang, bang, bang. It's like, wow, those people really left a mark on us. Even long after they're gone and they're aging, you'll still be able to look at that and go, this is genius. This is I'm gonna use your word used early. Comedic genius.
Yes, absolutely. And we're all grateful to them. They give us something to laugh at. They give us joy when we're in the privacy of our own homes. That is also a gift, and I'm grateful.
Absolutely. I agree with you. What's your social media? How do people get in contact with you?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. Abba the Goddess. Easy.
Yeah. I was waiting for a deeper breakdown, but that's okay. No, that's deeper.
No, I think it's self-explanatory. Yeah.
You know my definition of goddess? It is what God is. The Black woman is the quintessential example of what God is. Because when we study in our African and our American cultures, we find, no disrespect to no one that follows the Bible, but we find in our cultures that in a lot of different creation mythologies, it spoke about how the woman was actually first. because from her womb comes man. Because after her, there's no other man that ever came. There's no woman that has ever come from a man's womb. And we're talking like spirituality outside of religion. And when you study in different cultures, we know that that's the quintessential example of what God is. The closest thing to God is the Black woman, because she is the first. They refer to her as out of Eve, the theory, out of Africa, Eve, and or was it Degneshin? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. The Black woman has the elder DNA of all the people that's on the planet, and through her womb comes every other nationality, culture, and also people. And that's just scientifically speaking. No disrespect to anyone's religion.
I almost threw my shoe. I took my shoe off real quick because I don't know. Should I run? I don't know what to do with myself. Yes. And thank you. That is correct. And it feels so refreshing to hear that from the lips of a Black man. So thank you so much for that. Thank you.
No, thank you. I am your fan. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for ladies like yourself. You know, my mother is your complexion, believe it or not. People think like she's lighter, but actually my mother is very dark skinned. And from her, I learned that the very essence of who we are, it starts with you. Without you, I am nothing. I wouldn't even exist. It is your chromosome, it is your DNA that can create every nation of everybody comes out of you. And it's saddened because you don't get enough respect and honor and glory like the true God is, or goddess that you are. And I'm here doing my little part in my little corner of the world to ensure that we raise you up and give you back into your proper light and proper perspective. So, but that's my opinion.
Thank you so much. That's going to sit with me. I appreciate hearing that. Thank you.
Appreciate you. One little final thing. I'm sorry I took too much of your time thus far. Let me speed this up. I want to play the game of sevens with you. The game of seven is all about, if you study in the Bible, it says God rested on the Sabbath. But if you look in other spiritual books like the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, ancient Kemet, ancient Kush, ancient Congo, just all around the world, we notice that the number seven is centered around creation. Also, we do know when you look at the number seven, when it's inverted, it turns into a right angle, just like you would see right here, and just like you see right here.
Oh, yeah.
It is a source of strength. Like, believe it or not, you got right angles inside your bodies too, or what we call number sevens. Now, centered around this thing is creation. Now, with that keeping in mind, Abba, you are tasked to find seven people in history, living or dead. The reason why you're choosing those seven people is because you're going to create a world blockbuster movie. I want to know what actors, what producers, what writers, what directors, anything that you know of that you can choose seven people, living or dead, that's going to be a part of your production company. Which seven people would you choose and why?
Oh,
Take your time.
wow. Thank you. Living or dead?
Living or dead.
I'm going to start with Oprah. Because she has the answers. Meryl Streep. Malcolm X. Lupita Nyong'o. Anthony Hopkins. Oh my gosh, how many am I at? 5? Oh my gosh. Ryan Coogler. And Jesus Christ.
And you get one more for good measure. Surprise.
Tupac.
The reason why. Oh, say it again. I'm sorry.
I said, what a lineup. That is so random.
No. That's a beautiful lineup. You get every culture across every spectrum, age group. That's dope. Let me tell you the reason why we let you choose number 8. When you study the number 8, the DNA sequence in humans, it looks like a number 8. But when you take that number 8 and you turn it this way, it turns into the infinity symbol. That's why the brothers in the Nation of Islam, or the FOI, they don't wear ties, because ties symbolizes the noose that you were hung on. They actually wear bow ties because a bow tie represents the infinity of number 8, and it's right across the throat chakra. So may your voice be forever heard throughout all of the halls and the walls of the earth. May it resonate into different cultures, into different aspects, and different tongues, and different languages, and different mindsets. So the people will always know that you live and that you made a difference and you built upon your square on this earth, and your light just illuminated throughout everybody. Even if they can't remember your name, like, they always remember how you made them feel. And you definitely make us feel well. You make us feel healed. You are important. Please keep going. Please keep building. Please keep being the true Abba goddess that you are.
It's Abba, and I'm on My Celebrity Life with Ge.Holla.